Okay, today we're going to talk about Peardeck, which is another presentation tool like Nearpod. And you can log in using Google or Microsoft accounts or join a presentation depending on, well, if you're joining a presentation, that means you're a student. But if you're a teacher or an administrator, you're going to log in with whatever your login is. Now, I am not connected with a school, so I don't have any specific login. So I'm running off the free version, which also gives you some premium content for a limited period of time. So I'm going to log in with Google, and it's going to automatically log me in. And what you're going to have is your options to choose your whatever it is you want to do. Now, when you get into the bit, it's kind of in depth. I'm finding out because I used a lot of the help videos to try to navigate what it was that I wanted to do, and it basically has some very involved and interactive slides. So I already have lessons that are merged with Google Slides. Now, it works with Google Slides, but not exactly like Google Slides. So you, in essence, want to create a new Google Slide file. You can do that. And what you would want to do, which I've already done, and it tells you right here, you want to add on your Peardeck add-on. And that's already added in there. Here you go. Open Peardeck add-on. And that's going to go ahead and work for you. Now, I've already integrated a Google slide in here. And I will go to that presentation instead. Okay, this is the one I have. I already have it. This is just the you can also delete this slide if you don't need it. So this would essentially be my first slide. This was another PowerPoint that I integrated into Peardeck. And I added from over here in this sidebar, I added some different lesson builders and activities that I thought would be helpful to the students. And what essentially happens is I have my slideshow here, and as I click on it, it's slide 1, slide 2, and then it goes through, you know, all my slides. And essentially what you can do, which is similar to Nearpod, is you insert your interactive slides, which give you kind of a feel for how your students are going to be seeing the presentation and how your students are going to respond. And similar to Nearpod, your students' responses and your students' interaction with the lesson with the teacher are going to be anonymous. So the teacher is going to be the only one who's going to see it. Now, something that I did, let me go back to my home screen. Something that I did was I went to these here, How to Peardeck and Remote Teaching. I went to that because, again, I don't have a classroom. I'm not connected with a school. So anything that I'm doing is in my own drive. And I have all of my things that are included in Peardeck are, you know, my personal lessons. So it's not connected with the school. So I'm not getting the full thing here because I don't have anywhere to send it to. But there are a lot of help videos in the remote learning resources. And that is something that I actually did. I actually went to, because it'll say that it's free, okay, and but there is a premium version. So if I go back to my untitled, not that one, let me close out of this one because this is not going to be important. This one here, it says that I can upgrade to keep my premium. I'm still in my trial for 20 days. It gives you a 30-day trial, but right now and it took me a while to find it. Because I know I was in it, and here they are. If you go through these, it'll tell you a little bit about Peardeck. That's just a quick 2 to 5 minute video, and then you can scroll over and learn a little bit more about Peardeck, and you can have access to some of the other ones. Or you can go to Vimeo. Vimeo has a whole bunch, and YouTube have a whole bunch of different things that you can use. So I would definitely use the resource library just to try to get yourself familiar with it. And then for Google, it'll tell you all about using Google Slides, how to do it, you know, creating the custom questions, things like that. But this is kind of more interactive for younger children, K to 2. But it can be extended to those older grades. So we'll go back to my Google Slides that I've already inserted in there. And what I essentially did was I inserted my slides, my interactive slides, into Peardeck. You can also insert questions. It gives you a few example questions. Right here it says for the littles, K to 2. This is kind of a basic lesson that I have here about bugs. The slides were a little bit more interactive when you open it up in Microsoft Office, but there are ways to change that. These are some of the ones that I did myself, and some information. And then what I did is I went through and I went to an interactive slide where it was originally colors and then in Spanish. So this would be a good one, and it'll tell the students to draw anywhere on this slide when you launch it, because you'll launch the lesson here instead of present like you would in Google Slides. And that presentation, when you start that lesson, you can also send that to, it works really well with Google Slides and Google Classroom, so you can do that. And here's the last slide, which I still have to add an information website there. And then here's the last question: how did you like this lesson? So this really gives you the options to add interactive slides that your kids will be engaging in when you do your lesson. Now, if I essentially want to start this lesson, I would go to start the lesson, and it'll give you student paced, instructor paced. Again, it's not going to be the same as if I have students jumping on with a school roster, so I'm going to go to my instructor paced activity, and it wants to access my Google Slides. I thought I had that all set up, but I didn't, apparently, even though I signed in. And here is my code. Now, if I wanted to, I could open up a new browser. Let's open up a new browser, like we're going to be a student. Oh, hold on. I'm opening up in Safari. Let's hopefully this works in Safari. I'm going to go to joinpd.org. peardeck.com. And I'm going to enter my code. GMLDGE, and it gives you like green muffins loudly give green elephants. Kind of like the solar system thing when we were kids. And it's going to ask you how you're feeling today. Feeling pretty good. Okay? So I'm viewing this as a student right now. Okay? And then I'm over here on my teacher page and I'm going to start the class. All right? And I'm presenting. See if I can switch this over so that you can see how this looks from my side and my student's side, which is over here. And it does tell you to do that. So it's kind of like a split screen type of deal. All right. So here's the first prompt. Draw or type 2 things that you already know about bugs. All right. I already know something about bugs. Let's see. I know about ladybugs. I know ladybugs are, and I'm using a mouse for this. I know that's a ladybug. Okay. And now it's asking me to draw, so I'm going to draw something right here. I'm going to write something. All right. And again, if someone's helping them, this is what they're going to see. So, so here, if I'm on my presenter's screen, one of run responses, and I can show the responses so I know who that is. Okay. And I can hide the response. Now, I'm back on my screen so I know what my students saw. What are bugs? Okay, this is listed. Now, I would essentially probably be in Google Classroom doing this. I could send this prompt to Google Classroom as well. And this is exactly what my students are seeing. Again, this is different in Microsoft Office than it is. Telling you what bugs do. Here's more bug duties. Okay. Again, this is the teacher's side, and this is the student side. Okay. And now I'm going to the end here. Now, this is the other one of draw lines to match each answer. So I have, and it depends on how kids are going to do that. So butterflies, I think they help flowers grow. Okay, so I'm trying to draw, maybe draw a line, okay? They help flowers grow. Ants, I know, work together. Bees make honey. That's something that I already know. Dragonflies are experts at flying. Ladybugs eat harmful bugs on plants, and I know grasshoppers eat plants. Okay. Now I'm going to show the responses. Seeing that my students did that, and I can hide the responses. Okay. Okay, and that is, and here again, here my kids are going to say how well they liked this lesson. Students drag the icon to whether you liked it a lot or not at all. It's a pretty basic lesson. Peardeck. Okay, and then I can end the lesson. And if I wanted to end it without naming it, I could do that. So I'm going to do that. All right. And then I can do an open, reflect, and review in my Google Classroom. And then I can also generate some takeaways using Google Docs, but I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. So this is essentially Peardeck. Okay. Let me open this up a little bit for you. So that's Peardeck kind of in a nutshell. Again, it's very interactive. I would definitely use the help videos to try to get a little bit of training in. I feel like it has a lot of features, so it's kind of hard to navigate it. But again, once you're in this this area here and you have the Peardeck add-on in there, you can definitely add your templates however you want them in Peardeck. And what it's going to do is it's going to say I wanted to just kind of put something in the middle of this lesson here. If I wanted to, during a lesson, put some kind of activity in there, a multiple choice slide, I'll put that in there. And it's going to add it after this one. So this is true or false statement. So here we go. We're going to write a statement in there. Here we go. All bugs are harmful. Okay? And the students would choose an option, either true or false. So it can add it in there. So you can definitely change that, but you'll notice in the help videos, the only thing you don't want to do is you don't want to take this out because this will change the interaction components of your slides. So pretty much everything you want is in your Google sidebar, your sidebar for Peardeck. Again, you really kind of have to be connected with a district, or you have to pay for the premium versions of it. Right now I'm getting some of the premium features for free. There's also a way to add different things in there. You can add audio to your slide. Now, if you want to add a slide, you can certainly do that. You can just add a slide anywhere. Say I want to add a slide in, and just put anything in there with a text box. All kinds of bugs. Okay. And if I wanted to insert an image in there from the web, it'll pull it up on here. Here's Ants clip art. I can just add that in there however I want. I can also add audio, so I would add the audio down here, and it would launch the audio, and I could record it. Ants are very helpful bugs. I know they seem like pests. They eat your food, but they are very hard workers, and they are great builders, and they work together. Now I can delete it, I can resume it, I can save it, I can listen to it, or I can add it to my, there we go, and then it's added. And I guess there's a note to the students. The students will see it down below, and they'll know to click on the little headphones. So that's a little bit about Peardeck. I know this is a really long video, and I'm sorry. But it's very interactive, and there's a lot of settings that takes a little bit of time to navigate. If your school's using it, it does work very well with Google Slides and Google Classroom. But it takes a little while to get the full feel of it. But check it out, see if it's for you, and enjoy your interactive lessons.